So I welcome you all formally to this amazing batch of basics of stock market. Let me give a quick introduction about myself first, and then we'll move on with the topic. Okay. C. Rachana Ranade, naam to suna hi hoga. Okay. So I cleared CA in 2008, November. So I'm sure you know that the result comes out in January 2009. So this year marks 10 years of me becoming a chartered accountant. So I thought, why not take one step ahead and peek into some area which I've never taken as a proper formal session. So that was the reason why I thought of taking this small course on basics of stock market. Did I take a sudden jump into this? The answer is no. I'm also a resource person of a government organization wherein I've taken more than 100 sessions on investment awareness. And 2 sessions are very close to my heart because one was for CID Pune. CID matlab daya wala nahi hai, proper CID of Pune. And second one was for Indian Army Southern Command. After having a word with so many participants through more than 100 sessions, of course I've taken a lot of corporate trainings as well in the same area. But then इतने लोगों से बात की and I found one thing which was almost very much in common, that everyone knows कि stock market है. But if I ask them 2 or 3 questions, they might give me an answer, but it would be a very vague answer as such. They would not give me pinpointed answers. And so many people said that, ma'am, YouTube पे content है, no doubt about that. But we are not, YouTube पे अलग-अलग content है basically. There is no formalized content like this. कि एकदम start से, जैसे अपन स्कूल में पढ़ते हैं ABCD से, वैसे अगर कोई पढ़ा है तो मजा आ जाएगा. So I said, मैं हूं ना. So then I thought that let us design this small course. Should not be a big one. 10 days course hai, and every day 1.5 hours. Okay. So I thought we should start from the scratch. In fact, I got queries from so many chartered accountants also. They said, Madam, apne morning mein batch rakha hai, who have been my students sometime. And वो बोले कि morning में we have to go for college. Maybe they work in Hinjawadi area, and they say we leave at 7 in the morning. How can we attend your batch at 7:30 in the morning? I said, no problem. We'll record it for you. That is why this recording stuff also. Okay. But then I said, you're a chartered accountant. Why do you really want to attend this basics of stock market batch? Believe it or not, I met so many CAs who are, some of them are more experienced than me, but they have not invested even 1 rupee in stock market directly on their own. Mutual fund se kiya hoga, but not on their own. So I feel this is a very good platform if you don't know anything about the stock market to start from the scratch and learn in a very systematic and standardized manner. Right? Okay. Any one of you already invests in market? 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. And I'm happy with that. Have you taken some shares because your senior advised or your broker advised? Yes. Always. That is how even I started. Generally, अपने को अपना जो broker होता है, he'll tell you, अरे ये share buy करो, ऊपर एकदम ऊपर जाएगा. वो किधर ऊपर जाता क्या पता. And many times it happens that after giving some call, it will actually go up, and within no time, it will actually crash like anything. So then why depend on someone else to take a buy or sell decision? Can't we study on our own? Yes, absolutely yes. So that is why we are going to start from the basics. And even if you know something about the stock market, I bet that after completing this batch, you will say that we did not know all these, at least 5-6 areas out of this. And we are happy we are here and got to know about the basics right from scratch. Okay? Yes. I feel कोई भी building बनाने से पहले, what is the first step in before actually construction? एकदम पहला step क्या होता है construction का? To see the area. Okay. Area देख लिया चाहिए. Decide भी होगा यहाँ पे building बनाने का है. What next? Foundation, base layout करना होता है. But base layout करने से पहले, you will find that the land is not even. Land might be uneven. There'll be some unwanted plants around you. So पहले वो सब unwanted चीजें हटानी है. And then build a solid foundation. So अभी unwanted चीजें जो basic अपने दिमाग में है stock markets के बारे में, वो सबसे पहले हटानी है अपने को. Okay, जैसे आपने सुना होगा definitely, stock market सट्टा है. Many people say that. It's a gambling game. So is it really a gambling game? Can we study it technically and take some good decisions? So answer is definitely yes, no doubt on that. So ये gambling game बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. अपन एकदम systematic manner में अलग अलग जो अपने दिमाग में myths है about the stock market. You understand the term myth? Myth means what? Wrong assumptions. ये सभी सबसे पहले अपने दिमाग से हटानी है. Uneven land है, उसको land को even बनाने का है. Unwanted plants को side में हटाने का है. That's how we are going to start. Okay, so let's go through one by one. We are going to start off with busting the myths of stock market. You understand? Bust मतलब blow up. हटाओ उसको. Myths of stock market. Myths means what are your wrong assumptions about the stock market. So I've taken three to four, if I've not mistaken, major misconceptions about the stock market. The very first misconception is that investments in stock market are very risky. How many of you agree with this? Stock market investments are very risky. No one. But if you ask general people, everyone will say, we don't invest in stock market because we feel it is very risky. Come. Okay. Now, why do they feel it is risky? So if you ask me personally, I feel yes, to some extent it is risky. But really, is it risky or not? For that, just have a look at this chart. Okay. I'm sure you might not be able to see all these small. Is it visible? No, it's not even visible very nicely for me. Don't worry. But what happens, understand, this is the performance of Sensex in the past. Have you heard about this term, Sensex? Suna? There is one more similar term to Sensex. Nifty, correct. So what is Sensex, what is Nifty? Utne detail se bhi jaane wale. But first of all, let us just have a quick look at this movement of stock market. This is way back in 1991. ये जो आपको एकदम extreme left में दिख रहा है, that is 1991. And this is 2018 तक मुझे data मिल गया. Okay. Now if you see here, see all these small hiccups. थोड़ा ऊपर ये uneven land है अपना. ऊपर नीचे ऊपर नीचे ऊपर नीचे. Could that happen in the short term? Could there be a possibility that you buy a share and immediately after that it goes down? Possible, yes or no? Yes, absolutely yes. This is very much possible. But now have a look in the long run. क्या हो रहा है long run में? Is it growing? Has it steadily risen from, what is this on the y-axis? Here you can see 5,000. What is this 5,000? Sensex was at 5,000. Was it 5,000 also? No, was below 5,000 in 1991. And today, any idea? Roughly, kitna aspas hai Sensex? Roughly 35,000 roughly. So from sub 5,000, below 5,000 in 1991, right now, even if you see this is Jan 2018, it's almost 35. We are in 2019 right now. Iske aspas hi hai abhi filhal. So now tell me, in the long run, can you bet on the stock market? Yes, why not? But if you're talking about short term, then be aware. In the short term, you can see lots and lots of ups and downs. See this amazing area. Can you see that market was roughly, so maybe somewhere around 17,000. Okay, कब? Roughly around 2008 beginning. कुछ तो हुआ था इधर. And ये गया था ना सीधा 10,000 के भी नीचे. You know what had happened in 2008? US crisis, subprime crisis. Have you heard about this? There was a big crisis in US. If you want, I'll cover that in short in the upcoming session also. Have you heard about Lehman Brothers? Yes, that was a very big financial institution. Like we have ICICI, like we have HDFC. All these are the big financial institutions in India. Similarly, there was a huge financial institution in India named Lehman Brothers. It declared bankruptcy overnight. Rato Rat bankrupt. So you can imagine something like this. HDFC pulls down the shutter today evening and tomorrow morning it doesn't open. And you can imagine so many people's funds are locked in that. Rato Rat bankruptcy declare hona is a big thing. And जब मुसीबत आती है तो wholesale में आती है. So वहाँ उधर वो गया. अपने यहाँ पे सत्यम fraud. I'm sure you might have heard about this also. Satyam fraud was again unveiled in this same time frame. So two major things coming right back to back, and you can imagine that the Sensex crashes from 17,000 roughly to roughly 8,000, 9,000 points on Sensex. Itna niche jata hai. Is that going to be a huge one? Yes. But please understand this point. Do you think it would have gone down and down and down and down? And sab bolenge, zero. Would it go down to zero? Never. Market can crash. It can come down. But there has to be somewhere, some area where it will at least start bouncing back. Okay. There will be some good news in the market. So once some news starts coming in, now you can see after some news, some stability came into the market. This was a reversal point. Okay, then again market started to increase slowly and steadily. Here you can see some hiccups again. Okay, अब ये अगर आप देखते हैं यहाँ से जो main चालू हो गया again uptrend. Year, which year you can see this is 2014. अब की बार. So was Modi the one who said that now I'm going to take stock market to 35,000? No, of course not. But then why, I mean, what is the connection between Modi or NDA for that matter? National Democratic Alliance. Correct. So BJP का ही बड़ा वर्जन है ये. So ये सभी लोग एक साथ आ गए. They came in power. And वो power में आ गए and market ऊपर गया. What is the connection? Do you see any connection between one party winning the election and Sensex rising up? है कुछ connection? या मोदी ने setting लगाया कुछ तो? Setting नहीं लगाया ना? What could you, any idea, any guess? बोल सकते हो, answer can be wrong, that is okay. More foreign investment? Okay, that could be one reason. Okay, many people thought that there will be some positive changes in the economy. Any other reason? अच्छा, सबसे पहला reason क्या होता है बताती हूँ. A stable government is the most positive factor for the stock market. Otherwise, what happens? Understand? एक government है, उसके 2-3 allies है, सब मिलके सरकार बनाया. Now, when the government says we are going to take this decision, XYZ decision, and the allies say नहीं, we are opposing. अगर आपने ये किया तो हम support हटा लेंगे. Do you think then that government will be able to go ahead with all the decisions that they had thought? No. Because they have to go hand in hand with so many people with different mentality. Now with this NDA win, what happened was there was a single party which came into power. Now do you think with this stability, they'll be able to take decisions whatever they wanted to take? Yes, and that's a huge positive sign for the market. We are in 2019. This is the best time that you're doing this class. Because there's a repeat election this year, na? So see, this is history. What has happened? And in stock market, we always say that history repeats. So you never know. If you have a good... So again, I'm not saying it's BJP or it is Congress which has actually impacted the market. No, it's not because BJP won. It's not because Congress lost. I'm not saying that. It's because we had a stable government. If we have a stable government in 2019 again with good majority, then do you think this history will repeat? Any guesses? Yes. Ideally, yes. Ideally. So that is why understanding all the terms right now is very important. You can start with your investment with a very nice uptick in the market. Okay. So I hope now with this you have understood that there are loads and loads of hiccups. Minor cheeze aayenge market mein, no doubt about that. But if you see in the long run, now do you think that all this investment in stock market is risky or not that risky if you talk about the long run? Not that risky. So I hope you are convinced. Okay. So that was the first myth that investments in stock market is risky. I have convinced you with that. That long run में कुछ भी गड़बड़ नहीं होनी है. Okay. So let's move on to the myth number 2. You need to have a very strong knowledge about finance. Then only you can succeed in stock market. Okay. If you are from a finance background, will that help? Obviously, yes. I can't say that anyone and everyone without reading anything can work wonders in this subject. But there are many, many people who don't have a finance background, but still they have worked wonders in the stock market. एक लिस्ट देखना चाहोगे? Have a look at this. List of successful billionaire Indian investors. कोई successful stock market king you know outside India? Any person you know outside India who is very successful? Warren Buffett, everyone knows that. Warren Buffett was a person who started investing in stock market at the age of 11 or 12. And in his book, he has written that I regret that I started investing in stock market at a very late age. So बोल रहे अपन तो उसका उल्टा है 21. Still we have not even started investing in stock markets. So वो तो फिरंगी हो गया. Let's talk about Indian. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. How many of you have heard this name? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So he's like the Indian Warren Buffett basically. He has an amazing net worth. And those who have learnt tax till 1 or 2 years ago, there is something known as a long-term capital gain tax. What is a long-term capital gain tax? For those who don't know about this, I'll just quickly tell you in brief. Long-term means you have to buy the shares and you have to hold the shares for minimum 1 year. Okay, after holding them for 1 year, if you sell it and if you gain from that, if you win money from that, then it will be known as a long-term capital gain. Long-term क्यों बोलो फटाफट एक बार फिर से? Why long-term? You have held it for more than 1 year. So you assume you bought it in 2017 Jan and you are selling it in 2019 Feb. Obviously it's a long-term asset. ये तो 2 साल के ऊपर हो गया. And capital gain because assume you had bought the share at 100 and you sold it at 150. So that's a gain. So ideally 50 is your gain, yes or no? Quickly, yes, 50 is your gain. Is it like your income? It's your gain. Is it like your income? Yes, obviously. So जब भी income आता है तो उसके ऊपर income tax भरना पड़ता है. Agreed? This is like your income, you have to pay income tax. But there was a provision in income tax which said that if you have a long-term capital gain, you need not pay any tax on that, 0 tax. So you can imagine all these successful investors, they are earning not in thousands or lakhs, they are earning in double-digit crores, triple-digit crores possibly. And how much tax they are paying? 0. Legally or illegally? Legally. So can we learn from them? Can we use the same strategy? अपने 2-4 zero कम रहेंगे. But can we at least go ahead with this? That we can buy a stock and try not to sell it within 1 year. So if you do that, obviously whatever gain you are going to get, that's going to be completely tax free. Okay. Let me ask you a basic question. When you invest in shares, do you get something in return? Like a simple comparison is, if you invest money in FD, what do you get in return? Interest. Correct? If you invest in shares, do you get interest? No. What do you get? Dividend. What is the terminology? That is known as dividend. Okay. I'll just write a few things here. Okay. Now let's understand a very big difference between interest and dividend. Okay. I'll just try to okay. So the point which I was talking about is difference between interest and dividend. Interest किसके ऊपर मिलता है? Interest किसके ऊपर मिलता है बोलो? On FD. Have you heard about debentures? Debentures. It's more or less like an FD, but it is a security based thing. इतना डेप्थ में नहीं जाना अपने को, बट मेनली ये 2 इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स होते हैं, फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स ऑन विच यू गेट इंटरेस्ट. आई वांट अ क्विक फीडबैक फॉर दिस. कैन इंटरेस्ट वेरी ऑन फिक्स डिपॉजिट? कैन बैंक से दिस टाइम विल गेट 4%, नेक्स्ट ईयर विल गेट 4.5%, नेक्स्ट ईयर विल गेट 5%? कैन बैंक वेरी? कैन बैंक वेरी द इंटरेस्ट? Might happen, by the way. Might happen. Why understand? Bank declares the interest rates well in advance. It's not like a surprise. Please understand my question. Would it happen something like this, that maybe you made an FD on, let us say, 1st of May. Okay, and at that time bank had promised you at the rate of 7%. Can they now say in between, somewhere around October, we are very sorry to inform that now the rates have been revised to 5%? Can they say that? No, now they can't say that. They will have to pay you at the rate of 7% at least till your FD matures. Let us say it matures on 30th April. Is this okay? They can't change the interest rate in between only. But wait, can they declare 5% rate in October for all new FDs starting on or after October? Now everyone agrees. Of course, this is a very big drop. This never happens. But just as an example I'm talking about. So once a return is given on FD at the beginning of the year or at the beginning of you starting the FD, can I say that will continue irrespective of changes in the market? आपको जो promised return है, is that going to continue till your FD matures for you all? आपके लिए तो same रहेगा. For a new investor, could that be different? Yes. अच्छा, one more simple question. Can banks say that this time ना थोड़ा business अच्छा नहीं हुआ है? This year will not give interest. Next year will give a little bit more interest. Can bank say that? Is interest payment optional for the bank or is it mandatory for the bank? It's mandatory for the bank. You can't say, I will decide whether I have to give or not. Okay. But then if we talk about dividend, dividend किसके ऊपर मिलता है? Shares. Okay. Now the important point. Is it mandatory? Do you have to give dividend? No, it's not mandatory. Acha, let me ask you one more question. If company is doing very good, amazing, its sales continuously increasing, its profits are continuously increasing, they have doubled their profits, they have tripled their sales, still can the company say, nahi dena dividend? Can they say that? Then can shareholders say, oh, sab khud hi kha jaoge kya? Humko kya milega? Baba ji ka? Is there any company who has earned a lot of profit and has refused dividend? Apple. Also Google. Google is one company which has been earning loads and loads of profits, but they have not given dividend. You want to know the reason why? What they say is that, acha chalo, we'll give you dividend at the rate of 5%. 5% dividend we'll give you. But then they asked a question to the investors. Do you have the capacity to reinvest this money? Understand this carefully. Yeah? Assume that they gave 5% dividend. So every shareholder got 5 rupees. In dollars, let us say that. $5 sabko mil gaya. Now the management, or you can imagine the board of directors in one of the meetings said, how much can you, out of this entire money, let us say $5 they got as a dividend. Okay. Where can you reinvest this money? They said, some said we'll invest in FD. Some said we'll invest in some other stock. You know what are the FD rates in USA? आप बोलेंगे इधर के ही पता नहीं है, उधर का क्या पूछ रहे हो? FD rates in USA are around 2 to 3%. 2 to 3%. But their loans are also very less. You'll get a loan in roughly 4% also. जो अपने यहाँ पे 10% के आसपास है. Okay. So then Google asked, you have the capacity to reinvest this money only at the rate of 2%. So ये पैसा कितने rate से grow होगा? 2%. But if you invest this money back into Google, we have the capacity to increase the value of this at a much, much higher rate. ये कैसे होगा? How can Google reinvest it in the business? How can Google reinvest in the business? Tell me. Can they expand their operations? Can they invent new products and gain share out of that? Yes. वो आजकल आता है ना Google Home. Powered by, क्या होता है उसका नाम क्या? Alexa and what not. Alexa ना? You have seen Coffee with Karan ना? Alexa, turn on rapid fire lights. Alexa turns on the rapid fire lights. There is a big, thing which even Google has contributed to this. अब Alexa जितना भी बिकेगा वो product, Google Home जितने भी बिकेंगे, can I say Google is going to get profited with that? Obviously yes. More and more ventures they go into, more and more profit they are going to earn. And more profit they are going to earn, then what will happen? Tell me. Their share price should ideally increase. Are you getting this? एक बार फिर से, newer and newer businesses, newer and newer, very important, successful businesses, their sales are going to increase. If their sales increases, ideally their profit should increase. If profits increase, share price is obviously going to increase. And अगर share price increase हो गया, तो return to investors will increase. So let us understand. Originally assume that the share price of Google was $100 per share. Now do you think it's going to stay at 100? or it will rise. For sure it will rise. Let's say it goes up to $110 with this good profit. Tell me how much is the return? 10%. 10% return आ गया ना? 100 was the initial investment, you got 110. So 10% return. Now what is Google management saying again? आपको कितना मिलता था? 2-3%. हमने कितना मिला के दिया? 10%. So आपको डिविडेंड देने की लायकी नहीं है आपकी. वो गूगल ने बोला था. That if we give dividend to you, you will not be able to invest it in a better manner. We will be able to reinvest. We will be able to give you better returns. So अभी एक बहुत important concept सीखा हमने. For those who are learning this for the first time. Interest versus dividend. We get interest on what? FDs. Right now let's not talk about debentures. We get interest on FDs. We get dividend on shares. Is interest once declared, is it fixed for you at least? For you, is it fixed? Yes. Once company starts, can they declare a dividend, and is it mandatory that they have to keep it constant for years to come, or they can decide whether to give or not? They can decide. It's fluctuating in nature. Okay, and one more very very important point we talked about right now is the concept of LTCG. LTCG क्या था अपना? Long term capital gain. Long term कब बोलते हैं? If you are holding it for more than 1 year. And whatever gain you get, is it taxable or tax free? Tax free. Now let us come to one more tax treatment for interest versus dividend. So you should know this before investing, na? I'm sure you might have those who come from CA background. You have learned this in intermediate. But that you had learned only from the perspective of clearing the exam. Now we are talking from the perspective of investment. Okay. So whenever you invest money in fixed deposit, you will get interest. Is this interest taxable? Is interest taxable? Yes. At what rate? Depends on your level of income. Depends on your level of income. So you all are students right now. Your income is definitely less than 2,50,000 up to 5 lakhs. Your income is less than 5 lakhs. So you can enjoy. Can you invest in FD? Can you get interest and still not pay even 1 rupee of tax? Yes, that is possible. But don't keep the aim that we have to become tax free for the entire life. That should not be your aim. Na? Aim should be, when will I go into the tax limit? And when you enter that, then the question arises, interest low or dividend low? What is the tax treatment for dividend? Taxable, tax free? It's tax free. Okay, there are certain limits for that. Okay. Again, we are not going to dig down so much deep in the first session itself. But dividend, prima facie, is tax free. Okay. So, आप 30% tax slab में हो, 20% tax slab में हो, you are a tax free person, does not matter. You, whatever dividend you get, are you going to pay even 1 rupee tax? Legally or illegally? Legally. So, देखो शेयर मार्केट के बारे में 2 important चीजें सीखी अभी. कौन सी 2? एक है डिविडेंड, एक है LTCG. Both you are getting on shares investment only, and both are what? Tax free. There are certain limits. We are going to discuss that. So अगर आपको ये basic चीजें note down करनी है, you can note down all these basic points at least. At least the main terminologies as such. So what is the first terminology I talked about right now? LTCG, long-term capital gain. LTCG, long-term capital gain. चलो टेल मी फटाफट LTCG क्या है? हाँ वो तो है. मीनिंग क्या है? Okay, so if a person holds shares for more than 1 year, if a person holds shares for more than 1 year and earns profit, it is known as LTCG, long-term capital gain. Okay. सेकेंड कंसेप्ट कौन सा पढ़ा अभी? डिविडेंड. Who can tell me in simple words? See, we are not going to go by definitions. There are proper definitions for all these things. We are going to understand the meaning rather than definition. You have seen 3 Idiots, na? 3 Idiots में वो book का definition बोलता है. Paper jacket and bound, this that. अरे easy meaning में बताओ क्या? बोलता है सर किताब भूल गया. तो बोला ऐसे बोला ना, वैसे अपन लिख रहे हैं ना, एकदम simple words में, right? So who can tell me what is dividend? Can I say in simple words? It's nothing but return on investment in shares. Yes. So write down dividend is what? Return on investment in shares. One more very important point to be written there. What will you write? Very important. Is it mandatory for the company to give dividend every year, or it's company's decision whether to declare dividend or not? It's company's decision. Okay. So one more line. It is the company's decision whether to declare dividend or not. Is this okay? अच्छा, एक पॉइंट बोला नहीं था अभी तक, वो भी बोलेंगे. जस्ट रिमाइंड मी अबाउट डिविडेंड इज गिवन ऑन व्हाट, ये बताने का भी फेस वैल्यू कंसेप्ट आने वाला है. ओके, सो बिफोर वी मूव ऑन टू दैट, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट क्या लिखना अभी? टैक्स फ्री है कि नहीं है? यस. सो राइट डाउन द थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. डिविडेंड एंड एलटीसीजी, dividend and LTCG are tax free for individuals. Dividend and LTCG are tax free for individuals. वहां पे लिखेंगे subject to limits. Subject to limits. Okay, I'm going to ask you, it's your choice, but I always feel that, when you come in the class, you are a student. Then you should not get that feeling that, लेकिन मैं तो अभी CA final में हूँ, या बड़े है, नहीं है, क्या है. So shall I give you homeworks? Something you go home and at least do a Google search. So this is exactly your homework. क्या? Limit. Is there any limit? So I'll give you a simple example. Understand what is the question. What is the homework you have to understand? If I earn 100 crore rupees of dividend, wow, I will not be in the class. I'll be just enjoying all holidays, entire life. Okay, if I earn 100 crore rupees of dividend, do you think 100 crores will be tax free? Ideally not. Let me twist the question. If I earn 1 crore rupee dividend, 1 crore rupee dividend, will that be tax free? No. Achha, if I earn 1 lakh rupee dividend, will that be tax free? Achha, 1 lakh ke liye yes and 1 crore ke liye no. So there has to be some defined limit, na? Are you getting my point? There has to be some limit which is defined. Yes. Similar question, copy paste for LTCG. 100 crore LTCG, 1 crore LTCG, 1 lakh LTCG. So there has to be some limit. You just have to Google and find out. ये limit क्या है? Till what dividend is exempt and till what LTCG is exempt. This will take not more than 5 minutes. Okay? But you will get that feeling, homework आ गया. Yes? So everyone is going to give me an answer tomorrow for this. Pakka? Very good. Chalo. Important concept, one more. Dividend is paid on what? ये concept है. So give the next heading as face value. Face value. Okay, this is a very, very, very important concept, so I want maximum attention. Okay, those who invest in shares, you might have heard something coming up in the news wherein the management says that we are giving 100% dividend. Management says this, 100% dividend. And those investors who are not really sure कि क्या चल रहा है, उनको लग रहा होगा that कुछ fake चल रहा है शायद. Do you think 100% dividend is possible? Yes. It's 100% of what is the question? 100% of what? Is it 100% of market value? 100% of market value. अगर ये होता था सब नाच उठते थे. Like there's a share. Britannia तो सबने सुना है? बिस्कुट खाते हो कि नहीं? Britannia. Do you know the roughly, not exactly, roughly current market price of Britannia, मारी बिस्किट 5 रुपए का 10 रुपए का, उसका शेयर वैल्यू कितना है? ब्रिटानिया कंपनी का शेयर वैल्यू कितना है? एनी आइडिया? इट्स रफली अराउंड 3,100 rupees per share. Per share 3,100 rupees. Now you can imagine management says 100% dividend on 3,100. No. On the face value. Now important is, what is face value? I'm going to come to that. पहले इसका face value कितना है बताती हूँ. Face value is 2 rupees. Okay, face value is 2 rupees. Market value is 3,100 rupees. So whenever company says we are declaring 100% dividend, means 2 rupees dividend. Okay. So what is this face value exactly? Anyone knows? The original price at which the share was bought by the promoters of the company. Okay, promoter समझते हैं आप? Promoter is a person who starts the company. Those who don't know, you may write it down also. Promoter is a person who starts the company. लिखना है तो लिख सकते हो फटाफट. Because you are going to come across these terms so frequently on business channels. Promoters. Promoter is a person who starts the company. So tell me, who is the promoter of Reliance Industries? Dhirubhai Ambani. But wait now. He is the promoter, मतलब एकदम ही start वाला हो गया. अब तो वो नहीं है. So could there be multiple promoters now? Yes, now there is a possibility. ये सिर्फ initial stage पे हो जाता है. When you start the company, that person is known as the promoter. But could there be multiple promoters also? क्या 4-5 लोग मिलके कंपनी स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं क्या? Why not? Yes, all these people will be known as promoters. Again, I'm repeating, this is the base level definition, okay? Base level meaning. हर एक चीज का higher level meaning होने वाला है. But if I start discussing all these high fundu ideas today only, you will get scared. आज एकदम basics. Promoter मतलब कौन, एक बार फिर से? A person or group of persons who start the company. या तो okay. So you can imagine something like this. We all start a company. करेंगे ना? हाँ बोलो. हाँ करेंगे, चलो सबने 1-1 लाख रुपए निकालो. Just as an example, okay. So everyone contributes 1 lakh rupees. And we create a company known as ABC Limited. हमने 1-1 लाख रुपया ABC Limited के बैंक अकाउंट में जमा किया है. Do you want a proof that we have invested 1 lakh rupees in this company? या ऐसे ही बिंदास डाल दिया? प्रूफ तो लगेगा ना? प्रूफ क्या लगेगा? अब आप बोल रहे हो we have invested in this company, agreed. But the very basic question which arises, हमको क्या मिलेगा? Okay? If you all might say, see, I have come up with the initial proposal, हम सब मिलके company start करेंगे. But right now I'm saying, company अगर start करनी है तो पैसा लगेगा, initial contribution लगेगा. So I say everyone has to give 1 lakh rupees. Now the very first question you are going to ask me is that, if we have these 1 lakh rupees, if we invested in a bank, you would have got interest. Correct? If you had invested this 1 lakh rupees in the bank, you would have got interest. But then I'm saying, don't invest in the bank, give it to me. Or we all will start a company with that. You will ask, what will we get in return? Interest मिलेगा क्या? If we invest in this company, interest मिलेगा? नहीं मिलेगा. क्या मिल सकता है? क्या मिल सकता है? Dividend मिल सकता है, because you all will be the shareholders of the company. But shareholder बनने के लिए shares तो मिलने चाहिए ना पहले shares तो allot होने चाहिए, right? So now what happens? Let us take an example. कंपनी का नाम ABC Limited. Okay. Let us say there is one person who has invested 1 lakh rupees. So would he ask for some receipt? 1 lakh रुपए भरा, उसका receipt दे दो. What is his receipt? You said it. That receipt is nothing but a share certificate. Okay. So here you can see there will be a share certificate which mentions name of the holder. Okay. And कितने रुपए भरे ये आएगा, या कितने रुपए के वर्थ शेयर्स मिले ये मिलेगा. शेयर्स कितने के? अब शेयर्स कितने के, इसके लिए फेस वैल्यू वहां पे आना चाहिए. सो फेस वैल्यू लिखा रहेगा, बहुत क्लियरली लिखा रहेगा, फेस वैल्यू इज 2 रुपीज लेटर से. ये किसने डिसाइड किया? हम सब मिलकर ही डिसाइड करते हैं इसको. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ये शायद सीए सिलेबस में इनिशियली कवर भी नहीं होता है. फेस वैल्यू कौन डिसाइड करता है? लॉ डिसाइड करता है? नो. Can there be multiple face values of different companies? Means what? Let us understand. Not all companies have a face value of 2 rupees. कोई कंपनी का शेयर 2 रुपए का हो सकता है फेस वैल्यू. There could be some companies which have a face value of 10 rupees also. There could be a company which has a face value of 1 rupee also. आ रहा है क्या समझ में? अलग अलग कंपनीज का अलग अलग फेस वैल्यू हो सकता है. Every company can decide its own face value. But who decides? Who decides? Promoters. We all will have a meeting together and we all will decide. We are giving 1 lakh rupees agreed. What are we going to get in return? We are going to get in return shares. एक शेयर की कीमत कितनी होगी? 2 rupees is what we have decided mutually. हम सब ने मिलकर डिसाइड किया इसको. Is this okay? Yes. So what will be written on this face value? 2 rupees. Number of shares लिखा रहेगा? Yes or no? Yes. So number of shares कितना आएगा बोलो? Basic mathematics. 1 लाख रुपए दिए कि नहीं? So divided by 2. How much you are going to get? 50,000 shares. So now we'll get this physical share certificate which says Rachana is the owner. Face value is 2 rupees. How much shares she has got? 50,000. Will we all have such kind of a share certificate? Yes. But now you will say, madam, please. आजकल ऐसे थोड़ी ना share certificate होता है. Everything is in the demat form. Correct? I'll give you example of our own academy, Expert Professional Academy, Private Limited. Private Limited मतलब that is also a company. Think about it now. It's also a company. So do you think Expert Academy के भी shares रहेंगे? Obviously yes. Will that also have a face value? Yes, has to have a face value. Okay. Now if we are talking about Expert Professional Academy Private Limited, can you come and ask me, ma'am, show me a share certificate? ऐसे मैं दिखा पाऊंगी क्या आपको physical share certificate? Yes or no? Yes or no? Answer is yes. Yes. How? Not in demat format. No, it's not in the demat format. It's in the physical format. Okay. थोड़ा चकरा गया ना? First time you are hearing. We are in 2019. And क्या कर रही है आपकी academy? Expert Academy has in physical shares, not in demat. Now let us understand why demat. Why do you think demat is required? Huh? If the company is listed, if the company is a huge company, it's listed on the stock exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, ये सभी terms आने वाले हैं आराम से धीरे धीरे. If company is listed on the stock exchange, then you need dematerialized securities, demat securities. Okay. अब और एक मजे की बात बोलो. Reliance Industries Limited, do you think they will have physical shares? Answer is again yes. Even today, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, last date is April 2019, which SEBI has given as an ultimatum. April 2019 is the ultimatum given to the companies. अभी तो demat में कर लो यार. You can come across a document. नाम बता रही हूँ document का नाम होता है annual report. Okay, annual report करके एक document होता है. It's like a report card. In simple words, it's like a report card of the company. Okay, annual report एक होता है. उसके अंदर ये it's a mandatory disclosure to tell the shareholders as to how many shares are still in the physical form. And believe it or not, all listed companies have on an average at least 1% of the total shares in the physical form. My dad, he worked with Kirloskar Brothers Limited, listed company. Okay, for so many years, almost 32 years he served the company and then retired. At that time, he got some shares of the company. अच्छा उस जमाने की बात है तो obviously he got in physical. He hates the stock market. And it's always a tendency na, that whatever your parents hate, you have to love it. Okay, so me, my brother, we both invest in stock markets. And the other day we were asking our dad, अरे वो shares का क्या हो गया आपके? He said, still there in my cupboard. I said, don't do this. It'll go waste if you don't dematerialize it. He said, I don't know how to do it. मैं हूँ ना. Only condition is that I'll then transfer it in my name. Okay, but it'll be worth something. There was a very recent story which came up in the newspaper that there was a person whose grandfather passed away and he used to stay with his grandparents. Very recent story, I guess not even 1 or 2 months ago. And he was cleaning the cupboard. अच्छा, he was also very tensed up कि अभी कैसे अपना grandfather के income से पूरा घर चलता था. How is he now going to survive? Itna. And when he was cleaning the cupboard, he came across few papers. अच्छा, by the way, this went on air, okay? This was CNBC TV 18. You might have heard about this channel. Cartoon Network सुना है ना? हाँ, वैसे there is CNBC channel. It's a business channel. On that, there are people who call and they ask their queries about stock market. And there was one guy who was saying, I was cleaning up the cupboard and I came across these papers. कौन से पेपर है ये? Share certificate. Okay, and he said these shares, if I'm not mistaken, it was MRF or some, maybe if I'm not mistaken, it was MRF only. And some MRF, I can see some 100 or 1000 shares, whatever. इसका कुछ पैसा मिलेगा क्या? Will I get some money out of this? Any idea what is the share value of MRF? Somewhere around 35,000 per share. And the caller went mad on television. The person who was giving the answer was double mad. He was imagining, why not my grandfather? Okay, so that is the scenario of financial literacy in India. He is saying that I find some papers. इसका कुछ पैसा मिलेगा क्या? अरे what? That's a share certificate. Okay. Now I hope you understand this. Is even today share certificate in physical format? Yes or no? Yes. अगर आपके घर में ऐसे कुछ मिलता है, don't forget to dematerialize it before April 2019. Earlier, the deadline was Jan 19. They have extended it to April 2019. Okay, you can also tell your relatives and friends if you have anything in demat format, you have to get it converted. Now the question is, किसको approach करेंगे? मेरा number मत देना. Okay, it's very simple. Approach your broker. Okay, you must have a stock broker. You must have an account with some broker. If you don't have one account, you can open with one. Okay, and they have a form. You just have to fill up a form. And after filling the form, after giving some basic documents, your shares will be dematerialized. It's as simple as this. Okay, so now quickly tell me, coming back to our discussion, what is this document known as? Share certificate. Who gets a share certificate? The shareholders will get a share certificate. Original shareholders कौन होते हैं company के? Promoters who start the company. We have given 1 lakh. We have decided mutually the face value will be 2 rupees. How much shares will we get? 50,000 each. Is this okay till here? Now, if our company performs very nicely and if we decide that dividend देंगे अभी, and we say we'll give 1000% dividend, means how much rupees? 1000% dividend means how much rupees? 2 rupees कैसा होगा रे 1000%? 1000%, not 100%. 1000% means 20 rupees ना? Mathematics का class नहीं अपना. 100% is 2 rupees. 1000% will be 20 rupees. Is this okay? So concept of face value is clear? Yes. Can you now visualize a share certificate also? Absolutely. And all big companies, listed companies, is there a possibility that very minute number of shares but will still be in the physical form? कहाँ पे समझेगा आपको ऐसे है कि नहीं है? Annual report. I talked about this, like a report card. In the annual report, you'll find how many shares even today are in the physical format. Is this okay? For sure. But majority shares for listed company will be in the demat format. Demat मतलब क्या होता है by the way? Dematerialized. Materialized मतलब physical form. Material है ना वो? So material. Materialized share है. इसको हमने dematerialize कर दिया, इसमें से material निकाल दिया, इसीलिए बन गया e share. Electronic share बन गया अभी. Can we take this journey back also? From e-share to a physical share? Yes, that is known as remat. That is rematerialization. लेकिन ये कोई गधा ही करेगा. Because we are moving from physical shares to demat shares. But there is a concept known as remat also. Rematerialization of shares. Concept is clear? Yes, everyone? I'll also show you some actual share certificate tomorrow. ये मेरा homework. I'll get a photocopy or a photograph of one share certificate. I'll show it to you. Okay. So you remember your homework, I'll remember mine. Right? So can we move on? So myth number 2, which I was talking about, you need to have a very strong knowledge about finance. अब आपको थोड़ा फील गुड फैक्टर आ रहा है, भले ही अपने को अब भी नॉलेज नहीं, लेकिन 1-2-4 कंसेप्ट अभी घुस रहे हैं ना दिमाग में पक्का. सो इज टॉकिंग अबाउट राकेश झुनझुनवाला. कौन है ये? चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट. सो पहला एग्जांपल तो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट का आना ही चाहिए यार. ऐसे कैसे? हाउ कैन आई स्टार्ट विथ नॉन फाइनेंस पीपल? आई एम अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट. हवा करने के लिए थोड़ा सा पहले सीए से स्टार्ट करेंगे. ओके. सो राकेश झुनझुनवाला चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट. रामदेव अग्रवाल. हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट दिस पर्सन? रामदेव अग्रवाल. मोतीलाल ओसवाल. हाँ, मोतीलाल ओसवाल इज अ स्टॉक ब्रोकर. ही इज द फाउंडर. फाउंडर के लिए बेटर नेम? प्रमोटर ऑफ मोतीलाल ओसवाल. Okay, he is also a chartered accountant. Now we are going down to the list of successful billionaires, and जिसमें now अभी थोड़ा सा we are moving from finance to non-finance now. पराग पारेख, अपने नाम शायद नहीं सुने होंगे, but I hope heading ही काफी है ना. बिलियनर इन्वेस्टर से ये. इनकी डिग्री देखो, he has a master's degree in commerce and economics. Master's degree, but in commerce economics, not a chartered accountant. विजय केडिया, our fantastic degree, BCom. BCom everyone studies for at least 1 hour on the exam day. उतना तो पढ़ाई करते हैं. And do we still get a distinction? Yes. उतना बहुत होता है. He's a BCom and still among the list of successful billionaires in India. पोरिंजू वेलियात. ये नाम शायद नहीं सुना होगा. नहीं, वो भी नहीं. ठीक है. You should watch CNBC. Okay. And my personal suggestion to you is don't watch it during business hours. Don't watch it between 9:15 to 3:30. ये क्या है 9:15 to 3:30? That's when the stock market starts at 9:15 and it ends at 3:30. इसके बीच में जब देखोगे ना, तो everyone will say buy this share, sell this share. And we'll say, what are you saying buy? We should buy. That is not what we want. After 3:30 starts the analysis part of shares. Some news based on the shares. And you'll get to see many of these people who actually come up on television and discuss some shares. That's actually value addition. And Porinju Veliat, who is he? He's a law graduate. अब तो direct finance से भी relation नहीं है. Next, Ramesh Damani. Specialization देखो. HR specialization. And उनकी मैंने जानबूझ के नेटवर्क डाल दिए. 1.24 billion USD है. Multiplied by 70, you'll get Indian rupees. Okay. अच्छा, डिस्क्लेमर, ये मुझे जितना भी डेटा मिला है ना इनके नेटवर्थ का, ये मेरे को उन्होंने आके नहीं बताया है. इट्स अवेलेबल ऑन द नेट एंड आई हैव जस्ट कॉपी पेस्टेड इट. ओके. सो इनका नेटवर्थ चेंज हो गया तो आई एम नॉट रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दैट. दिस इज इंटरनेट का डेटा. ओके. एंड द अमेजिंग पर्सन मिस्टर राधा किशन दमानी. चेकआउट इज नेटवर्थ 7.1 बिलियन. ये ऊपर का कितना था? 1.24 billion US dollar. This is 7.1 billion US dollar and he is an undergraduate. Correct. You know who is Radhakishan Damani? Heard about his name? DMart. Shopping के लिए तो जाते हैं. Now try to implement this in your day-to-day life. When you go to DMart, ask any employee, who started DMart? There'll be some person who started DMart, na? He is Radhakishan Damani. Okay. And he is such a fantastic investor, believe it or not. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, who is a chartered accountant, says that my guru in stock market is Mr. Radhakishan Damani. So Radhakishan Damani had invested so much in equity shares. But at one point of time he said that, see the thought process, huh? ये होता है सक्सेसफुल इन्वेस्टर्स के थॉट प्रोसेस. ही सेड फॉर अ लॉट so many years in my life I have invested in shares of other companies. In simple words, he said I was a part of others' success story. See the thought process. बोले almost for the last 20 years I have invested in different companies and I am a part of their success stories. Now it is time that I make my own success story and I make people a part of my success story. And that is how he thought that let's start a company, let's start our own venture. And for that he also stayed in US for some time. DMart जो है वो उन्होंने पहले Walmart स्टडी करने के बाद निकाला है. Walmart, have you heard about this? Yes, it's a huge chain of shopping malls in USA. And he studied वहां पे कैसे होता है, क्या होता है, उसका एनालिसिस करके उसको इंडियन मार्केट्स के हिसाब से मॉडिफाई करके he thought why not start our own supermarket chain in India, and that is how DMart actually started. Okay, so now I'm sure DMart की स्टोरी पता है क्या आपको? What is the current market price of DMart? Anyone knows? No? अच्छा, IPO का कंसेप्ट मैंने अभी तक लिया नहीं आपको, बट जस्ट आज जितना समझ में आता है उतना देखो, अदरवाइज IPO का कंसेप्ट आने वाला आगे जाके. The IPO price of DMart was 299 rupees per share. Okay, I'm telling you in very simple words right now. IPO price concept. Coming back to our own company. अपनी कंपनी का नाम क्या था? ABC. Right now, how many people are invested? Only we are invested in the company right now. अब कंपनी बड़ी हो रही है. We need more funding. Okay, so let us say 200 more people come in and join our company. Now, a company which started as ABC Private Limited, now we move up to ABC Limited or Public Limited. The name itself suggests ABC Private Limited, now ABC Public Limited. Will there be limited number of investors? या फिर much more investors? Much more investors. Assume we have now 500 members in our company, 500 shareholders in our company. We can't still keep it as a private limited. We have to convert the company into a public limited company. But now still we need more money. We need more shareholders to come in, to give in money. So what is one more option? List it on the stock market. Okay, this process I'm going to explain thoroughly tomorrow. But आज थोड़ा सा एक brief में समझा रही हूँ आपको. Journey समझ लो. Journey generally starts with a private limited company. Moves ahead to a public limited company. Then can grow large to a listed company. That's also a public limited company, by the way, but it becomes listed on the stock exchange. So now when other people want to come into the market, they want to be a part of DMart. Coming back to our example now. ध्यान से सुनो, बहुत ध्यान से सुनो. अपना जो ABC का फेस वैल्यू कितना था? 2 rupees. Now do you think the new investors which are going to come in, we are going to offer them at 2 rupees? We had started it with 2 rupees per share. But it has been, let us say, 5 years that we have started this company. Now company is becoming big. Success हो रहा है company को. Do you think we are going to offer them at 2 rupees only or much higher price? Much higher price. So let us convert this example into DMart now. Assume face value of DMart was 2. If I'm not mistaken, it was 10. But let's say continue it 2. But they said, जिनको अब आना है हमारी कंपनी में, we are going to offer them at 299 per share. लेना है तो लो, नहीं लेना है तो मत लो. Your choice. There might be some investors who might have said, no, वो तो 2 rupees face value है. You are demanding at 299. So are they asking for extra money from you all? Yes. Why? Is this a completely new venture or it is established now? It's established. Risk for the new investors will be less or more as compared to us? Will be less. थोड़ा तो establish हो गया यार. So you have less risk. So pay some extra amount for that. And a technical term comes up. We say these shares are issued to the shareholders at premium. Issuing of shares at premium. Normal English word है वैसे. You are issuing it premium means what? Is it higher than the face value? 2 रुपए का कितने में मिल रहा है? 299 पे मिल रहा है. So we are issuing the share at premium. But then the shareholders might say, if we are taking it at 299, what will be the benefit to us? Do you think it might get listed on the stock exchange even at a higher price? Yes. And believe it or not, this share got listed on the stock market at 600 rupees roughly. Roughly 600 rupees. Do you know any shareholder of DMart who had invested in this IPO of 299 standing right in front of you? Had purchased at 299. And day 1 of listing, ये listing क्या होता है सब आपको बताने वाली हूँ in coming days. But it gets listed on the stock exchange on BSE NSE. कितने रुपए में list हो जाता है? 600 rupees. And many of my friends immediately sold it on the same day. Double return. Less than 1 month में. Less than 1 month. Double returns. I said what to do. What I did was I said I'll sell half of my shares. So what happens if I sell half of my shares? Is my money recovered completely? So just as an example, मान के चलो मैंने 100 shares लगाया था. At 299, if I sell 50, can I say my basic cost is recovered? Now whatever is invested, that's like completely gain which has been reinvested. So I don't care about that now. ये नीचे भी जाता है तो भी मुझे गम नहीं अभी. Do you know the current market price? It's around 1100 rupees. Okay, in next 1.5 year, 1100 rupees. So there are loads of success stories. You have to understand which share can perform better. ये इतना ज़्यादा इस बेसिक्स में नहीं आने वाला है. आपको जस्ट एक एग्जाम्पल बता रही हूँ. You must know these fascinating stories about stock market, and then only you will get more and more interest in this. So अभी कंसेप्ट कौन सा आया था बोलो? फेस वैल्यू का आया था. फेस वैल्यू, इसको क्या बोलते हैं? इश्यू प्राइस. ओके, ये सब आने वाला है, बट सिर्फ आपको एक रिवाइज करा रही हूं. एंड 600 इज द लिस्टिंग प्राइस at which it got listed on the stock market. Why did I give this example to you? We were talking about whom? What was the name of that person? Mr. Damani. Educational qualification? Undergraduate. Net worth 7.1 billion USD. Okay, so do you think definitely we can reach not even $7.1 billion, but कुछ ना कुछ आगे कर सकते हैं इस एरिया में, even if you are not from finance background? Is it possible? Very much yes. So I hope you are convinced. आ गया convinced वाला अपना hashtag convinced, that you need not have compulsorily a finance background so that you can invest into stock markets. You just need to have that much inquisitiveness about the stock market. Okay, अब myth number 3 क्या देखो? Small investors like me cannot make money from the stock market. You need lots of money to invest in stock market. You might say, मैडम स्टाइपेंड नहीं मिलता 1,000 रुपया, 2,000 रुपया, बहुत हो गया, 3,500 रुपया, क्या उससे होगा? Those who are working, you might get more money, but then you might feel $7.1 billion. अपना whatever. Okay, 7,100 rupees. So what to do with that? Do you really feel with a small amount you can really gain from stock market? With a very small amount, can you start investing in the stock market? Is there any limit? कि कम से कम इतना तो 1 लाख रुपए तो कम से कम चाहिए ही चाहिए, ऐसे कुछ है? Can you start even with 100 rupees? Yes, you can start with 100 rupees also. No problem about that. I'll tell you a fantastic story. पोरिंजू वेलियत नाम सुना है? अरे नहीं मत बोलो यार, प्रीवियस स्लाइड में आया था, है कि नहीं? पोरिंजू वेलियत, I told you he is one of the successful billionaire investors in India. अब उसकी स्टोरी देखो, उनकी स्टोरी देखो. He comes from a very poor family in Kerala. He struggled for his education due to the financial condition. He comes from a farming family actually. What I read about him, that his parents were farmers, and they had a very small piece of land in Kerala. And when Porinju was in school, at that time, he always used to be the school topper, class topper, school topper. So his teachers told his parents that you should not stay in the small village in Kerala. You should go into the cities. Give him good education. He will definitely become a much, much brighter kid. But parents said, we don't have that much money to go in city. So what they did was, they sold off their farmland. And with whatever money they got, they shifted to some city in Kerala. सिटी में शिफ्ट करने के बाद ही स्टार्टेड हिज एजुकेशन में ग्रेजुएशन हो गया. ग्रेजुएशन होने के बाद ही ज्वाइंड एर्नाकुलम टेलीफोन एक्सचेंज एज एन ऑपरेटर. स्टॉक एक्सचेंज नहीं, टेलीफोन एक्सचेंज, एंड दैट टू एज एन operator of telephone exchange. Means you might have seen, let us say something happens to your phone and you call the customer care, na? Something like that. That's where he had joined. But when he started working there, simultaneously he was also completing his law graduation. Graduation का उनका studies चल रहा था. He completed his law graduation from Ernakulam Law College. And then what happened? After his graduation, he started, during his graduation only, he had started to get some idea about something. There is something known as stock market. He started reading on that. And after reading through some books, through newspapers, he thought that let's have some practical knowledge on that. And for that, he had an opportunity to join Parag Parikh Securities. Parag Parikh Securities is nothing but a stockbroker. You know any stockbroker, by the way? अभी अभी मैंने एक नाम लिया था थोड़ी देर पहले, मोतीलाल ओसवाल, that is one stock broker. Any other stock broker you know? Angel Broking is a stock broker. Any other? Sher Khan is a stock broker. Any other? Edelweiss is a stock broker. Any other? Zerodha is a stock broker. ये अलग अलग स्टॉक ब्रोकर्स है. ओके, वैसे पराग पारिक सिक्योरिटीज ऑल्सो स्टॉक ब्रोकर. ओके, सो इनके यहाँ पे इन्होंने ज्वाइन किया एंड आफ्टर पराग पारिक सिक्योरिटीज ही वर्कड विथ जियोजीत. जियोजीत इज ऑल्सो अगेन अ स्टॉक ब्रोकर. ओके, अब इनको थोड़ा थोड़ा मजा आने लगा स्टॉक मार्केट में. And with this, when he started working, he started to get some practical knowledge. He started to invest in small amounts. And with his amazing fundamentally thinking power, what he did, he went a long way, and after getting some experience, he started his own venture, which was Equity Intelligence Private Limited. खुद का venture start करना is not a joke when you are a law graduate, have got nothing to do with stock market. So you can imagine how much self-study he must have done. At that time, even my class was not there, no? Basics of stock market. So he had to do complete self-study. He did an amazing self-study, got some good practical knowledge, and then he started his own venture. And you know what happened after some years? He became one of the successful billionaires. And now what happens is he had no home to stay at one point of time. And he is now among the best stock pickers of India. So इनकी जो स्टोरी मैंने सुनी थी उसमें there are 2-3 points which I have not put in the slide, so I'll just tell you orally that when he started working, धीरे करके he started investing, and his funda of investing is that try to search companies which are undervalued, invest in them, and when they reach their actual value, that is the time you should sell them. अब ये undervalued क्या होता है क्या नहीं होता है, आएगा धीरे आएगा. So basically he believes in value investment. सस्ती चीज ले लो, when it reaches its actual value, sell it off. That is what his investment funda is. And with this investment funda, he became so famous and he became so rich that, do you remember in the beginning of the story I told you that his parents had sold a farmland? After earning a lot of money, he went back to his village. He found out who is the new owner of that piece of land. He said, price what you tell and area what I want. He bought that same piece of land at the price which the new owner had discussed, and he has built a big farmhouse in that area only, same area. Just try to Google it out on internet, Porinju Eliath farmhouse, and you can see amazing photographs. Audi car khadi hai. Audi car, he's sitting on the car, and there is a peacock on his shoulder. And so many birds which are around. It's in that same farmland which I was discussing, जो उसके parents को बेचना पड़ा था. So now you can imagine this success story. एक नहीं, ऐसे हजारों success stories है. I've just talked about one, and there are हजारों failure stories also. You might have seen in the newspaper also. Whenever market falls, there are such stories also, na? I'm not going to tell you only the goody part of stock market. You have to know the realities of stock market. It can make you a hero or a zero. Both ends are possible. If you do it systematically, you have to become a hero. Okay, so like Porinju Eliath. Now I hope you are convinced that he had no home to stay. He had started with that amount, and today he is among billionaires. So can you start investing in stock market with a very small amount also? Is it possible? Absolutely yes. There's no bar that you should have a lot of money for that. But now I'll tell you the problem with his investment psychology. Okay, problem is that he keeps on investing in very small and unknown companies. Please understand this last part very carefully, okay? He always believes in investing in what? Small and unknown companies. And then he says, abhi ye small hai to sasta milega. When it reaches its true potential, when it goes big, it grows big, at that time it's going to be a big profit. Agreed? Yes. But now you might say, number one, we don't have that much knowledge. Number two, we don't have that much time to do a research and find out all those small companies which are undervalued. Do you think if you invest in large companies, can you get good returns? Mind-blowing returns मिल सकते हैं क्या? Large companies. हाँ या नहीं? वो नहीं बोल रहे. I'll give you a simple example now. Everything अपने लिए proof तो चाहिए ना अपने के लिए. And which is the company that I'm going to talk about? Renowned company which has given strong returns. very renowned. One is L&T, of course. And the one which I'm going to talk about is Britannia, which I gave as an example some time ago. You have to use common sense while investing in stock markets. Common sense works best in stock markets. Just have this thought process in your mind. How many Indian households might not be eating Marie biscuit? ऐसा लगता है आपको there'll be even one Indian household which does not eat biscuit? हाँ, one Indian household तो हो सकता है. Definitely. We have so many people who are living even below poverty line. But you look at cities, city areas. कोई भी एक ऐसा घर होगा जिसमें ब्रिटानिया का बिस्किट ही नहीं है घर में? Impossible है. So now tell me, is there any death for their basic product? No death for their basic product. And if their product, if they come up with newer and newer products, if they innovate more and more, then don't you think their sales are going to increase slowly and steadily? Yes. Again, अपना original फंडा, sale अगर slowly steadily increase हो गया तो ideally profit, पहले profit will slowly and steadily increase, and उसके बाद slowly and steadily share price also has to increase. So for that I've taken one small chart for you. ये क्या है बताती हूँ. All these figures are rupees in crores. We are on to the last 15 minutes, so I want 100% attention. आपको एक 2-3 नई terminologies आ रहे. The very first terminology is turnover. Turnover is nothing but sales. And here you have profit. What is the basic difference between turnover and profit? Basic difference between turnover and profit? Turnover is sales. Okay. And profit is? After deducting all the expenses, what you get is profit. In simple words, can I say turnover minus expenses is profit before tax? फिर आप टैक्स पे करेंगे और उसके बाद क्या मिलता है? प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स. ओके. इन मेनी बिजनेस चैनल्स दे विल से टॉप लाइन ग्रोथ एंड बॉटम लाइन ग्रोथ. क्या वर्ड यूज किया? टॉप लाइन ग्रोथ एंड बॉटम लाइन ग्रोथ. व्हाट इज इट? टॉप लाइन. टॉप लाइन इज नथिंग बट टर्नओवर. In simple words, top line is nothing but turnover. You want to write this down? Top line. Because this is the word that all the analysts use. Top line. Top line means what? Turnover. And bottom line? Bottom line क्या रहेगा? Profits. Bottom line is profit. Generally, profit after tax. Okay, now let us see what has happened. Always remember, whenever you're doing any analysis, at least do an analysis for past 5 years. Try to see their growth story. Starting with how much? 2014. I've taken the data till 2018. 2019 March, thoda sa baki hai abhi. So I can't tell you 2019 figures. See their turnover story. Started with 2014 में कितना started नहीं हुआ है, but 2014 का turnover कितना है देखो? 6,300 rupees. Round up करेंगे, rupees in crores. 6,300 crores is the turnover. Moves up to 7,200 crores. Moves up to 7,800 crores. 8,500 crores. 9,200 crores. Has the turnover increased slowly and steadily? Yes. Now let's check the profit. Profit कितना है देखो? 370 का हो गया 622, 763, 844 and 948. I'm going to wait for 1 minute. I want to see your analysis. Analysis only on turnover and profit figure. This does not require finance knowledge. This requires only common sense. Turnover and profit का कुछ relation नजर आ रहा है क्या? अच्छा, direct relation है. Okay. Is there a possibility in some cases turnover might increase but profit might decrease? सोचो, ऐसे हो सकता है क्या? टर्नओवर इंक्रीज हो गया, सेल्स इंक्रीज्ड बट प्रॉफिट डिक्रीज्ड और लॉसेस इंक्रीज्ड. हो सकता है. When could it happen? When your expenses increase out of proportion. Your expenses are much higher than your sales numbers also. Amazon सुना है, Flipkart सुना है, Myntra सुना है. All these online companies are increasing their turnover, top line, but they are in bottom line losses. Amazon is in loss? Yes. discounts that they give, cashbacks that they offer, everything is going into losses. They are just into the phase right now wherein they want to give, आदत डालना चाहते हैं. You want to, just imbibe this culture among ourselves that कुछ भी हो जाए online, फटाफट. But I feel somewhere down the line, Indian mentality is a little bit different. In Marathi we call फुकट ते पौष्टिक. That whenever we get it at discount, whenever we get it at a rock bottom level, then only we are going to enjoy it. Even today I do like this. That maybe on Book My Show, there is this internet handling charges on Book My Show. And if I know that this picture, even if I go directly there, I'm going to get it. I will not book it through Book My Show. Why to give 50 rupees extra? This mentality is very much prevalent in Indians. And that is why the internet shopping companies, e-commerce companies as they call, they are having a very nice top line, but their bottom line is not strong. Because their control over expenses is not that good. Okay till here? Yes. Now going back to the story. और क्या knowledge, और क्या आपको समझ में आ रहा है? Anything else? Any other relation? Use your logic. I'll wait for a minute. Hint, 2014 to 2018 compare करो. Anyone? देखो. Proportion of increase. That's the right answer. Proportion of increase. Turnover has gone from 6,000 to 9,000. I'm rounding off the figures. So how much turnover has increased in 5 years? How much times it has increased? 1.5 times. 1.5 times turnover has increased from 6,000 to 9,000. And what about profit? 370 ka 948. Almost 3 times. Almost 3 times. Now is this an amazing scenario? You're doubling your, you just have not even double the turnover. 1.5 times of the turnover. But profit level pe you are going 3 times. And friends, those who have learned leverages, ये थोड़ा leverage का concept आ जाता है इसमें. But it's okay, we are not here right now for leverages. But can I say this is a good story? Yes. Do you require finance knowledge for this? This is logic, this is common sense. So what you can do? Take a 5 years chart, check how much their turnover has increased, and check how much their profit line has increased. Instead of saying turnover and profit, what are you going to say now? Check their top line growth. ऐसे भारी लगना चाहिए. Check their top line growth and bottom line growth. And if the bottom line is growing at a higher pace or lower pace? At a higher pace as compared to the top line growth, is it a positive sign? Yes. Now, do you need to find out all these small and undervalued stock, or is this a very famous stock? Very famous stock. People say, we are scared to invest in stock market. You invest in Britannia by paying money for buying their biscuits. That's also an investment. So if you are buying shares of that, if you are buying biscuits of that company, buy shares of that company also. Na? Why not? People say, we are scared about stock market. They'll keep money in Bank of India. Okay? In FD. Why are you keeping money in Bank of India? Bank of India is safe. You feel Bank of India is safe? Then invest in shares of Bank of India. Are you getting my logic? If you have faith in some organization, why not buy shares of that organization rather than buying only biscuits of that organization? But don't blindly buy it, also check their financials and then buy it. Does only a study of past help, or do you need to know about their future prospects also? Future prospects के बारे में भी थोड़ा पता होना चाहिए. Like, so I'm telling you some future prospects. अच्छा, before I move on to future prospects, अब और मजेदार बात. What is the current market? What was the price, share price? Let's quickly go through the share price now. ये भी बहुत amazing part है. Share price का क्या हाल है देखो. Turnover तो कितना फटाफट आंसर चाहिए. Turnover increased by 1.5 times. Profit increased by 3 times. Now share price. 800 rupees moves up to 5,000 rupees. 4,970 है ना, तो almost moves up to 5,000 rupees. So 8 5s are 40. Huh? So has the share price increased more than 5 times? Quickly, turnover increased by 1.5 times. Top line, bottom line, 3 times. Share price, 5 times. So had someone invested in 2014 at 843 rupees, the current market price would have been 4,970. This is market price is on 31st March 2000. इस ये वाला 18. बोलेंगे आप ये पास्ट हो गया, आप भी का बताओ. The latest price अभी today is 11th February. मैंने 8th February का जो लिया है प्राइस, that is 3,110. Good or bad? Good or bad? It's good. Really? Why? If someone had invested at 2018, then it's bad. Oh, company share price has gone down from what on 31st March? From 4,970, roughly 5,000 rupees to 3,110. बिस्कुट खाना बंद किया लोगों ने. Why this damage happened? Any idea? No. So understand, we are on to the last concept for the day. So let's focus. This is known as the concept of stock split. This is known as the concept of stock split. Last 5 to 7 minutes, 100% focus. Stock split क्या होता है? अभी हमने बोला था, we are talked about the concept of face value today. Okay? Face value of Britannia, 2 rupees. Market price of Britannia as on 31st December was roughly around 5,000 rupees. Now tell me, what happens? Can small investors buy into Britannia? Yes or no? Small investors, do you think they'll have the capacity to buy Britannia shares? Why? To buy one share, they require 5,000 rupees. They can't buy such a share. So liquidity matlab more and more people buying, more and more people selling. Will that be comparatively less or comparatively more? Comparatively less, because people who are buying into one share for 5,000, they are going to be comparatively less. So company says that if the market price itself goes down, so that more and more people can buy, that will be good. Market price goes down is good. Can company declare from tomorrow, so that all poor people can invest in our company, from tomorrow revised share prices 2,500? चलेगा क्या? Who will be mad at them? Who will be mad at them? कौन गुस्सा करेगा? Shareholders who have bought at 5,000. Are you mad or what? We bought at 5,000. What is? हमने क्या किया था? It's not our mistake. So now what has happened? Understand? Company says, don't worry, yaar. What we have done is we have split the face value from 2 rupees to 1 rupee. ध्यान से सुनो. Face value of this share, which was 2 rupees, इसके ऊपर लिखा हुआ था 2 rupees. Now they have said, now this 2 rupees, we are taking it as 1 rupee. But now let us understand the impact. Every one of us had how much shares? Tell me. Originally, assume हमने ही ब्रिटानिया स्टार्ट किया, ऐसे assume करते. We had how many shares of Britannia? 50,000 rupees के shares थे अपने पास. क्यों? Because we had purchased 2 rupees का 1 share, totality में 1 lakh rupees we had invested. Agreed. But now today company is saying that we all take a decision that अब इसका value 2 rupees नहीं रहेगा, अब इसका value 1 rupee होगा, इसीलिए आपका ना revised price is 50,000. Can I say my money went half? आधा हो गया मेरा पैसा. This does not happen. So understand what happens. If they are splitting the face value from 2 to 1, what is the basic objective? क्या ये 1 लाख रुपए को धक्का बैठना चाहिए क्या? Should this 1 lakh remain intact? Should this 1 lakh rupees remain intact? Yes. So what they will do? Double the number of shares. Face value goes half, no problem, double the number of shares. So now everyone will get 50,000 additional shares. Do you have to pay anything? You will get 50,000 additional shares. Of how much face value? 1 rupee. Okay. So अब क्या हो गया बोलो? Revised scenario. How much shares do you all have, including me? 1 lakh shares of 1 rupee. Is our value intact or is our value damaged? It's intact. Yes. What is the benefit now? Market value, which was 5,000 market value, which was 5,000 per share. इसका क्या होता है? Now you can imagine something like this. ये जो हमारे सबके पास 50,000 शेयर थे, अब इसका कितना हो गया? 1 lakh shares. Now do you think it should be 1 lakh into 5,000? Now the revised price. Please understand, this is basic mathematics again. Basic mathematics, please pay attention. 5,000 corresponds to 2 rupees face value. Basic ratio, 5,000 rupees corresponds to 2 rupees face value. So for one face value, what is the corresponding market price? That should be 2,500. Are you getting my point? Yes. So the moment stock splits, quickly, I want correct answers. Moment stock splits from 2 to 1, your face value has halved. The number of shares have doubled and the market price has also halved. Market price is also half because see, this is your normal ratio. 2 rupee ka face value, 5,000 is the market price. For 1 rupee face value, it has to be 2,500. But people don't understand this. What will people say? 5,000 rupee share went down to 3,110. Very bad. Now tell me, why did this happen? Because there was a stock split. Britannia had declared a stock split in August 2018. If I'm not mistaken, it was 20th August 2018. उसके बाद क्या हो गया बोलो फटाफट? 2 रुपए फेस वैल्यू शेयर went down to 1 rupee face value share. उस तब का प्राइस 5,000 went down to 2,500. Good or bad? Or neutral? Neutral. There's no good or bad thing. But those who don't understand this, what will they say? Gone. Company is into a very bad position. They have halved their share price. And mad people will start selling shares of Britannia. Should we be among the smarter lot? We should be among the smarter lot. Ideally, now will more people, ideally, should they buy in more? Yes, and we should be among them. So, तब जिन्होंने 2,500 में buy किया होगा, now what is the current market price? Now it is 3,110. Are you getting my point? How much percentage return? If someone bought at 2,500, what is the percentage return? Basic mathematics. 2,500 का 10% तो आराम से कैलकुलेट करते हैं, वो 250 आएगा. 250 का डबल 500 आएगा. 2,500 प्लस 500 3,000. So ये तो 20% के ऊपर हो गया. Getting my point or not? When had we bought the share? Assuming post split we buy more shares. Split के बाद प्राइस कितना हो गया होगा बोलो? Original price before split, how much was that? 5,000 was the share price before the split. After the split, 2,500. Assume we buy at 2,500. What is today's market price? 3,110. How much is the return? This is a 20% return, more than 20% return. In how many months? ये अगस्त में हुआ था. सितंबर, अक्टूबर, नवंबर, दिसंबर, जैन एंड फेब चालू है. विद इन 6 months 20% रिटर्न. एफडी नहीं देता इतना रिटर्न. आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? यस. स्टॉक स्प्लिट का कंसेप्ट समझ में आ गया? हैव यू रिटन स्टॉक स्प्लिट इन योर नोट्स? What happens to the face value? Does it increase or decrease? Decreases. Acha, 1 minute. Is it necessary that it has to be half? Not necessary. It can be some other also. So for example, 10 rupee का face value can be, let us say 2 rupees का face value में भी नीचे ला सकते हो. If some company has a face value of 10, can they bring it down directly to 2? Possible or not? Possible. In our example, what is happening? 2 rupees face value is coming down to 1 rupee face value. So in simple words, what is a stock split? The face value of the share is split. The face value of the share is split. आगे क्या लिखेंगे? नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स विल इंक्रीज प्रोपोर्शनेटली लिखेंगे या नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स विल डिक्रीज प्रोपोर्शनेटली? इंक्रीज प्रोपोर्शनेटली. Number of shares will increase proportionately. Okay? You want to write down an example? Example, write down. Original FV. You can write it down like this. Original FV. Revised FV. Original कितना था बोलो? 2 rupees. Revised FV is 1. Okay. Now, number of shares. Originally, how much did we have in our example? 50,000. So, revised number of shares will be 1 lakh. Therefore, value कितना हो गया बोलो? Value is intact, na? There's no change in the value. Value is intact. Is this okay? Yes. So I hope you have understood this. Is this a bad thing that it moved down from 4,900 to 3,100? But it's a good one. It's a good one. Why? There was a stock split because of which this happened. Okay? So इतना basics तो अपने देखना चाहिए. And just last slide में we are just going to check what are some operational facts about Britannia. Again, I found it on the internet only. Okay? So Britannia is mainly a biscuit company where 70% of the Indian households consume Britannia products. Entire India, 70% of the Indian households consume Britannia products. It's present in 79 countries. Not only in India, it's present in 79 countries. And addition of 13 new markets they are aiming in 2017-18. Category of business kaun sa hai? Mainly it is into biscuits, but I'm sure you might have heard about Britannia cakes, breads, toast. And they are also now coming into croissant. Croissant agar suna hai to it's a French bakery product. It's like toast type. I mean खारी बिस्किट अगर आपने सुना वो खारी जैसा है बट अच्छा डिजाइन वाला आता है वो शंख जैसे दिखता है थोड़ा सा. That's a croissant. Okay, so they are also entering into croissant. They have 9 plants right now, 9 factories in India. So also check their growth story. Just don't check the past. Check what are their plans in the future. In future they are going ahead with 13 new markets. They are already having 9 plants. They are trying for more and more plants. They were originally into biscuits, cakes, breads, rusk or toast. They are also going to enter croissant. So 2 things we have learned about basic fundamentals. Check the past, no doubt about that. Check the trend, no doubt about that. But also check what are their future plans. A very big disclaimer I want to give before we stop. I don't recommend this stock right away. Okay. नहीं ऐसे हो सकता है. People can say, why are you talking about Britannia? Do you own shares of Britannia? So this is just an analysis of Britannia. On paper looks good, but I am not recommending this stock as such. Okay. It's your choice. If you want to buy. If you don't buy. Okay. So with this, I hope now you are also convinced that definitely आपके पास अगर renowned companies के बारे में बात करेंगे तो क्या renowned companies also can give good returns? Yes. So no need of searching all those small companies which can give potential good returns in the future. Okay, so आज basically 4 चीजों के बारे में बात किया. कौन से 4 चीजें? 4 myths about the stock market. Number 1, we said very risky. Short term, I want quick answers now. Short term, could it be risky? Yes. Long term, not really. Okay. Second thing we said, you must have a strong finance background. Required? Logic works more. Analytical skills work more. Number 3, we said, you must have a lot of money to invest in the stock market. Required? 2 time का खाना नहीं था. Prince Juliet is among the billionaires in India now. And 4th one we talked about, that renowned companies never give strong returns. It's not so. We talked about common sense again. So always try to see products around you. Which products you are using right now. And see, ये कौन बनाता है? I'm wearing Will's Lifestyle shirt. Who manufactures Will's Lifestyle? It's manufactured by ITC. So brand, Will's Lifestyle is a brand. Which company manufactures it? ITC. ITC. Is it listed on the stock exchange? Yes. So मैं इतनी नालायक हूँ कि I go in and buy only those brands of which I have shares. So I contribute to the top line story. Okay. Yes. So try to develop this thought process in your day-to-day life also. What are you buying? Who owns this company? And you'll also start going one step ahead in this fantastic area of stock markets. Enjoy today's session. Yes, we'll see you tomorrow.